Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe at Bank of America Stadium, where I have to admit I feel like I have been living for the past 24 hours as news of Ron Rivera broke last night. Was able to speak with him, was fortunate enough to speak with David Tepper about that, followed by at 8 a.m. this morning, Ron Rivera with his press conference, which was pretty darn good in my opinion. Showed a lot of integrity as a person that he is. I like to do interviews with players to show the people behind the position, and I think a lot of people would have saw that in Ron Rivera today. And then back for the regular reporting with new interim head coach. So for this Wednesday, December 4th, I'm going to give you, as usual, start with the injury report for today. We had Greg Little, Gerald McCoy, Greg Olson, and Eric Reed. All of those guys did not participate in practice today. We had some limited participation from a few guys. That would have been Taylor Moton as well as Shaq Thompson. So news of the day, undoubtedly, Ron Rivera getting fired, his new interim coach, Perry Fewell stepping in. Here are highlights from that conversation with Perry meeting for the media with Charlotte today for the first time.
Needed to be walked through because this was totally unexpected, and in first-class manner, as Ron Rivera is, he stayed and helped every minute of the day he could. I think my prior experience helps that it does not overwhelm me, so that I'm relying on that prior experience. But I would say that it was totally unexpected. We changed it up just a little bit. We had a very spirited practice. We had a little competition between the offense and the defense for third down for push-ups, and so we wanted to improve in that area. We did some things to get better as a football team. We had the first offense go against the first defense for the first two plays of each series as a scout team look in order to get better. And I thought the competition was good, and I thought the spirits on the field were good. So the defense did not win that third down period. The offense did, and so the defense had to do 11 push-ups today. It's extremely rare. Again, emotions are at a premium when that occurs, and so it's easy for you to slam the door, pack up your things, and walk out, or just walk out. But he took care of Panther business, which you know he would do. He's a first-class guy. Again, addressed the staff, came and addressed me, to make sure that, hey, everything that we have set up, you can change, but here, this is where our travel schedules are. This is where this is. This is where this is. This is, he laid it all out. He probably spent anywhere from 45 minutes to maybe an hour, okay? And then I would go back in and say, hey, what about this, coach? Okay, I've got an idea about this. What do you think? So he was available, and he has been available if I needed him. Old school, I'm an old school football coach. I get after them, I yell at them, I kick them in the ass, okay? But I'm also, when they do well, I hug them and pat them and love them, like I think you should. And but I don't mind telling them my feelings at the time, or my expressions, my thoughts at the time. I bark at them. It's not out of malice. It's just out of love. But like I said, I'll go back and I'll pat him on the butt too.
So there you have some words from Perry. At this moment, I'm not really too sure what to expect from Perry. You learned a little bit from listening to those sound bites right there. I know David Tepper last night said he's a man that can command a room, and that's why he has him in charge. But Tepper also said last night that he's told him to keep it simple. And you heard Perry Fewell talking there about this team is really who they are at this point. Can't make too many major adjustments at this point in the season. You will see a few wrinkles here and there. He also mentioned about the starting quarterback being Kyle Allen and not Will Grier, even though I feel like that could be something that's up for change just a little bit, not too strong, because again, I know I met with Tepper last night. He mentioned that they want to bring Will Grier along in a traditional manner. And you also saw Perry confirming that Cam Newton will be undergoing a procedure on his foot that's upcoming. And let me go through a few more notes. So that's the summary about the new interim head coach. Now, about that locker room, because I like to give you guys a lot of behind-the-scenes information to help you get a feel for this team and help you make your own judgments about what is going on. Now, certainly, there's many players spoke today about Ron Rivera. Even you heard the interim head coach. I'm confusing his name because it's his first day on the job. Talk about how sad they are that Ron Rivera is not here, how they felt like they wish they could have done more to keep him around. Greg Olson spoke about this being one of the saddest days that he has been a part of. I think that's a very good way to sum up the feeling of a lot of the players and coaches that were still remaining here today at Bank of America Stadium. Greg Olson also was asked about his future. He said, hey, with change, there's likely change, but today is about Ron Rivera. And one other story that I'll share with you guys that I feel like I must share. You know, Mario Addison lost a family member recently. Spoke with him about that, but also he spoke about his last interaction with Coach Ron Rivera. He said he was at Del Frisco's and, you know, having a good time with his family and friends. Ron Rivera walked by, said hello, went to pay for his meal, Ron Rivera did, and then came back and gave him a gift card. And that gift card was enough to take care of everybody that ate and drank with Mario Addison. So that, again, just continues to echo what kind of man Ron Rivera was. Now, unfortunately, he was not able to perform well enough for this job, and he was relieved of that. But nevertheless, it was a good man for this team, and hopefully those characters that he's built will be something that they can continue to have as we get a new regime in here and hopefully turn this thing around and have some longevity of sustained high level of success, which David Tepper is expecting to see. So I always invite you all to have interactive conversations with me. Leave your comments below. I will get to each and every one of those. Be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and also turn on the bell notifications for more live videos that I'll be doing. Chris Jenkins from Bank of America Stadium.